If you only look at the stats, her induction into the AVCA Hall of Fame is no surprise. Over 2,000 wins at Bedford High School in Michigan, 3 state titles, 16 conference championships, and 6 MHSCA Coach of the Year awards give her an unmatched resume. But her impact on the sport goes far beyond numbers. She's held a position on the Michigan Interscholastic Volleyball Coaches Association board for 27 years, with 6 of them as president and vice president. She also served as the high school representative on the AVCA Board of Directors, helping high school volleyball move forward at both the state and national levels.
When I think about Jodi, her program, and the success she has achieved year in and year out at Bedford, the first word that comes to mind is inspiration. She's been such an inspiration to me, the volleyball community, her players, coaches, parents, and the Bedford community for so many years. I had the opportunity to work with her for 3 years right out of college, and she taught me to continuously inspire girls both on and off the court to do and be their very best. Jodi has a high standard and teaches girls life lessons that they're never going to forget. She gets the most out of them as athletes on the court, students in the classroom, and citizens within their community. She prepares them for the next level, whether that is to go on and be a college athlete and play volleyball, or a student in college, or whether they go into the working world. They will have thick skin and they will know how to handle tough situations, having played for Jodi. Her program is built with high expectations, hard work, and love. They're always the first team in the gym on any given weekend for a tournament, and typically the last team to leave the gym with hardware in their hand. Jodi's record speaks for itself. She's one of the few coaches in the nation with over 2,000 wins and counting. I'm really excited to be able to call her my mentor. I pick her brain all the time on how do I create such a culture in my gym. You could walk into her practices and her girls are warming up and working hard before she even steps in the gym every single day. I feel lucky to be a part of this journey with her, and I'm excited for her during this time.
Her high school success sometimes overshadows the fact that she was the University of Toledo's first ever volleyball coach. There's a pattern that whenever someone needed to step up, you can find Manore with her hand raised high. The AVCA salutes Jodi Manore.
I had no voice last night, so this is better. I am extremely grateful to be honored for something that I've spent nearly my entire adult life doing, love doing, and that has given me so much. Through the goodness of God, I've been in the right places at the right times with the right people. Thank you, Jostens, for sponsoring this award, to the Hall of Fame Committee, and especially Kathy DeBoer for all you do for AVCA and being instrumental in my getting involved as the high school rep for the AVCA Board of Directors. My one regret in terms of Kathy is that I graduated from Michigan State, and the next year she transferred, so I didn't get to play with her. Congratulations to Lori, Doug, and Joel. I am honored to be inducted with you. My parents were my biggest influence and gave me my love of sports, and I wish they were here, but they are in my heart. Thank you to my brothers, Doug and Dale, my sister Terry, my sister-in-laws, Tina and Sue, for representing them and being here to share this moment. Thank you to Kay and Chris, friends for over 40 years, who have also been coaches most of their lives and understand. And thank you very much to Bedford grad and good friend, was an assistant in my program, and now a fellow coach who nominated me, Bree. You notice I didn't say a former player. She didn't play, she played her freshman year at Bedford and then decided to play a couple of other sports. I never got to coach her, but thank you, Bree. Like many of you my age, there were no high school sports for girls yet. I grew up playing with the guys on the empty lot. As a freshman at MSU, I signed up for a power volleyball class. The instructor was the women's volleyball coach. She asked if I was going to try out. There was no such thing yet as preseason, having your team picked before school started, and so on. I played for 4 years, and the rest is history. I was going to teach. I went to college for that. I never thought about coaching, but the summer I had graduated, there was an ad in the newspaper asking for a volleyball coach at the University of Toledo who was starting their program. Not too many people at that time had collegiate volleyball playing experience, so I got the job. Never did I imagine it would lead to a career, memories, friendships, and the accolades that it has. I learned to be a coach as I went, followed examples of my coaches. I was trying to compete against more established teams, such as Western Michigan, who was in our league and who I doubt that we even scored very many points against them. I took our team to trips to Penn State, played against Russ Rose's team, you can imagine how that went, and to California to play in matches. I was devastated after 14 years that the University of Toledo decided to go in a different direction, so I returned to Bedford. I had taught there while I was coaching part-time at Toledo. I had also coached 4 years because back then Michigan played in the winter, so I could coach at Toledo in the fall, Michigan in the winter, and teach all year. Because Michigan played in the winter and we were in an Ohio league, we didn't have anybody to play. So my schedule was based on traveling throughout the state of Michigan, playing tournaments on Saturdays, because the other schools around us were on a league, so they didn't have open dates. We played as many matches as we could. Michigan allows 18 dates, up to 7 matches in a day. We didn't have to have a league schedule, so that gave us a lot of opportunities for wins. People always ask me, how could you possibly get that many wins? Well, things just kind of fell into place because I didn't have to schedule people that others did. I always want to win when we take the floor, but it was never about the win total. It was about giving my players the opportunities to get as good as they could and to become their best. It's satisfying to me when the light goes on and they understand and you can see it in them, or when players are rewarded and awarded for their hard work and dedication. When they play in college and they come back and tell me they were well prepared. The other kids couldn't make it through the two-a-days, but they could. Or when they come back and tell the current players it's all worth it. I'm proud that the AVCA Hall of Fame is about far more than numbers of victories and recognizes service to sport. I've been on the MIFCA board for 27 years and served in many capacities. I'm proud of what we do as a board for the state of Michigan and for the volleyball players there. But even more so, I'm proud that I've become good friends with the board members, and so many of them are here. Thank you for your support and friendship. My 6 years on the AVCA board as the high school rep allowed me the opportunity to listen and talk to coaches from all collegiate levels. The first board meeting, I was a little overwhelmed. Here I am sitting with people who I had long admired and looked up to. You know, they were the top of our sport, D1 coaches and other levels. Now I'm comfortable and I can say hi to them and recognize them. They recognize me. I also got to know, running the high school meetings, the state leaders from the other states, such as Carol and Jean and Jeff and Rob and so many others. You know, high schools, you don't play each other out of your state. And unless you're involved with club, you don't know about those people. But I feel like we've become friends as well. I'm proud of the programs that we started at Bedford. Our Volley for the Cure event now includes all of our teams and the community. And this past year, we raised over $8,000, which we were able to give to 4 organizations, 3 students with cancer in our school, and a scholarship fund for a player whose father just recently passed away. We started our suicide awareness program to honor a player and now one of my assistant's brothers who passed away. Also, other students. It now also includes anti-bullying and inclusiveness messages. We have a Valley Tots, Valley Kids, Valley Junior program, which I got the inspiration of doing when I served on the AVCA board with John Sample. One of the neatest things we do in terms of that is during our last match of the year, our littlest kids perform between our sets. So you've got all these 3, 4, 5, 6-year-olds, in a 3 minutes time, showing their parents and everybody what they can do. But prior to that performance, during our national anthem, we had over 100 kids, my JV and freshman team, who were kind of keeping them in order, and our varsity team standing on the end line while the national anthem was played. That's pretty inspirational. I am proud of so many former players who have returned to coach at Bedford. 6 of my 9 coaches in our program from 7th through high school were Bedford grads. I have players at the high school level throughout many states, also at the collegiate level. And I even have one former player who's made the time out of her day to come here, played for me at the University of Toledo. Kelly Hartley went on to coach at IPFW, and I told her she's at the very top as an NCAA Women's Committee member. So thank you, Kelly, for being here. We are now good friends. Thank you to Bria and Shayna, sitting at my table, who have built their own programs, coached in our program at Bedford, and now are competitors, and building their own programs into very good programs at this time. I have met and become friends with so many parents, players, fellow coaches, officials, volleyball reps, so on, through volleyball, that have enriched my life, and I thank all of them for that. I never aspired to such an honor as this. I just wanted to help as many people as I could, train as many players as I could, see them get rewarded for their efforts. And I thank the Hall of Fame committee once more, and to all of those who joined me personally for this honor. Thank you very much.